You're here to receive a very special psychic prescription, much like a weather report, for how to best work with universal energies that will be present this week. And that's from today, the 4th of July, to the 10th of July, 2020. I'm Kylie Savage Psychic, and this is the weekly Oracle card reading. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I'm so glad you found us. And if you've been watching along for a while, then welcome back. And I would love you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you get notified of when these videos come out. Okay, so there's a fair bit of news to get through before we get into our reading. So I just want to wish everybody a very happy full moon eclipse in Capricorn, which is actually happening tonight for the Northerners and tomorrow for the Southerners. And for the Southerners, it's happening at 14:44 p.m. If you love angel numbers, you'll understand the significance of that and why I think that's kind of cool when the moon times land on angel numbers. Okay, so for the full moon eclipse in Capricorn, you may have already been feeling it, and I've just written down a few things. But if you have the Moonology book by Yasmin Boland or her Moonology 2020 diary, if you're lucky enough to get one of those, then you'll know what's happening at the moment. I've also been sharing some stuff on my page. So I'm on Facebook, Kylie Savage Psychic, from Kim Fairmine Astrology. And there's also a lady called Asha. I think she's I can't say the word today, existential astrologer, something like that. But yeah, whenever I see things which I think are relevant for the astrology, for what's coming up, I will definitely share it on my page. And if you want to know anything about me, my website is up. It's www.kyliesavagepsychic.weebly.com. Something exciting is you can now book your readings with me online. I have an online booking system. If you go to my website and click on the page which says readings, you'll be able to book and pay for your reading all there in the one spot. I'm actually having a break for school holidays, so please enjoy this time, all the families, for your kids being on school holidays. I'll have a 2-week break and then bookings will start again at the end of the school holidays, which is about mid-July. I tend to take all the school holidays off, most of them, because as you would know, it's so important to have a break and to rest and recharge. My daughter and I had a lovely break down to the south coast. Hello to anyone who's down in Huskisson on the south coast. We did a spot of whale and dolphin watching, which was incredible. We went out on the dolphin whale tours. I really think they're the best down there in Jervis Bay for all the tours. Mind you, I do want to go on the other tour companies. They have a Jervis Bay, explore boat, which is really kind of exciting looking. And I thought, well, when I'm game enough, I'll go and do one of those tours. As my daughter and I were heading out to the bay, we saw the most beautiful rainbow. It was huge, and it was there was the headland, there was the island, Bowen Island, and as you head out, it was almost like a third of the opening as you head out towards the heads. And then I had asked my father, who's in spirit, and his mum and his dad, my nana and my grandpa, to be present with us. And I asked them to connect with the animals and the wildlife and saying, wouldn't it be so nice if my daughter and I can see, some incredible things to make it a really great experience for her. And I did, this rainbow, it just was constantly there. We did get rained on. It was freezing and windy, but it was so worth it. Anyway, and then at one point I looked and there was the large rainbow there and then another end of one, and I could follow it all the way along because all the time I've been watching it, you could see the rainbow trying to double up. And then it wasn't until, I got back home and I was getting ready for an appointment, I realized, oh my God, 3 is my power number. And I'd asked my dad, my grandpa, my nana show up for me, and there was 1, 2, 3 rainbows. So I was like, see, always ask for your signs because spirit move heaven and earth literally to show up for you. That's how much they love us and how much those bonds of love, remain. We all remain connected. It's just about being awake and aware to it and accepting. We really got to have an open mind with this stuff, and then you just wait and see how much spirit will show up for you. I always tell all my clients that, and because I know it's been so true for me. Okay, so back to the full moon in Capricorn. Many, many blessings on your full moon wishes. Remember to do your gratitude list and your forgiveness list. You get to burn those, which I love to do. It's perfect time for a fire, as it has been freezing here. And today it's got to be snowing somewhere, and yesterday, because the snow in the wind is brutal. So yeah, you get to burn all those things, and then we get this beautiful time with the waning moon. So we've had the waxing moon up to the full moon, and then each night we'll see a little bit less of the moon, and she will dim right down until there's a new moon where she's completely dark. Here it's about 2 nights. Until then, over in the west, we'll see just the tiniest sliver of the new moon. But by the time we see her, that new moon, you know, part where we're transitioning out of that phase and into the waxing moon. So I think of the period between the full moon and the new moon as a time for more shedding and processing and just resting. If you're manifesting all the time, like moon manifesting or working with the universal laws to manifest, it can get a little bit tiresome trying to be on all the time. It's really, really important in all things to understand that universal law of balance. There's giving and receiving, there's action and there's inaction. There's the yin and the yang of it. And it's very important to have rest times, times when we're not actively trying to engage in personal growth and transformation. We're not actively trying to manifest anything. We're just chilling. And if you don't take time to rest, then sometimes what will happen is life will bring things into your life to kind of make you rest. I've been so slow to learn this lesson. I'm a very impatient, fiery Aries, and I have had to learn to rest. It's still difficult for me. And yet, if I don't listen to my body, if I don't listen to my soul, something invariably happens, and I end up having to take time out. So, as you said, that's why I always take the school holiday breaks. It's really important if you're a reader too. You'll burn out so fast if you don't book in those holidays. Great tip for anyone who wants to start reading or learn how to read. Remember, get in touch with me if you want to do that. Okay, so in the astrology, what's happening is Yasmin has put in the diary, think of this as a time to turn a corner. We're right in the mid-year. What's the next half of your 2020 going to be like? And we can really have an active time. We can really have some active participation in the co-creation of the last half of 2020. I know a lot of people will be so happy to see the back of 2020. Anyway, Saturn is going back into Capricorn after she's been in Aquarius. And so what it is, we don't have to, but we can at this time think about and reflect upon what have we learned since December 2017 till now, in that roughly 2-year period. So what have we learned in each area of our life, in our career, in our relationships, with our family relationships, with finances, with health, with spirituality, things like that. Look at all the areas of your life and with vision, your big picture zone, things like that. So when you do your full moon ritual, you can think about that. You can go through all the areas of your life and go, okay, over the last roughly 2-year period, what has been the major theme or the major lesson or the major experience, I like to describe it more as, over that time? And this will give you a really good snapshot of not just the astrology, but how you're traveling. And you might, have some insights come up and you might realize some things you think, oh, wow, well, I wasn't really focusing on my health there, but look what's happening. And then this will help you to understand what would be good for you to focus on in this last half of the year and to really see some productiveness and to really see some benefits come out of that last half of the year. If we're not conscious about things, like we are always choosing, we are always manifesting, and we're very often doing it, from our patterning, from, childhood issues and traumas and behaviors, and that's our 5-year-old self is very much our unconscious mind, and you don't want to be making the decisions of a 5-year-old and then trying to clean up her mess. We want to be responsible adults who are authoritative, who can take a measure of control and responsibility for our lives, and we want to actively participate in the manifestation and co-creation of our life. That's the way to go about it. And to also, look at what were the blessings and the gifts. Sometimes over that 2-year period, you might have had things come into your life and you think, well, I certainly didn't ask for that. And yet, what were the silver linings? What were the gifts and the blessings in something that you saw at the time as a really tough challenge? Human beings need the struggle to grow. It's just the way we're made. This is what I'm coming to understand. You can totally disagree with me, and if you do, love to hear feedback in the comments. Okay, so that's the astrology. Definitely check out Yasmin Boland, Kim Fairminer, Deborah Silverman and Colette Barron-Reid are going to do something about the astrology too. So pop over to Colette Barron-Reid's website or Deborah Silverman Astrology and find out what they're up to, because I think whatever it is, they're doing it for free. That reminds me, my other piece of news. Are you interested in learning more about the 7 chakras? If you are, Colette Barron-Reid is holding a free 7 Energies challenge. I've pre-ordered her new Oracle deck. I'm so excited. I actually thought it was already out. I didn't know. In Australia, it's not coming out till about mid-August. I really like Booktopia to order from. I have a really great track record with them, touching wood. So if you're interested, it's a 7 Energies Oracle deck by Colette Barron-Reid. She's got a free Facebook group and she's actually got units. She's going to take us through a lesson for each of the energy centers. And I'm going like this. The chakras, if you know, they go like that. So starting at the base chakra, the root chakra, and moving up to the crown chakra. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up for that. And she has a 7 energies quiz, which will show you which energy center probably needs a little bit more love at this time. I found it really accurate. So the energy center I'll be working on is that base chakra, which is all about our material life, our physical life, supporting our physical life and catering for our material needs. It's very much about finances, about taking action in the world, and about setting ourselves up with a solid foundation. So I'm really going to love that, I'm sure. If you're interested in joining me, I'll put a link on my Facebook page. If not, jump over onto Colette Barron-Reid's. Right. What else did I have to say? I think that's all my news. I am reading today from Colette Barron-Reid's beautiful Goddess Power Oracle deck. There it is. And I'm also reading from Doreen Virtues and Radley Valentine's Angel Answers deck. Yes, Doreen no longer reads these types of decks. She's got her own Christian decks out, but Radley Valentine still does. So if you're interested in all the angel stuff, go and check him out, or Kyle Gray, or Diana Cooper. If you're interested in angels, get in touch with me and I will send you some resources. So if you're new here, you may not know how we do this. I'm picking 6 cards. I'm picking 3 from the Goddess Power Oracle and 3 from the Angel Answers deck. Angel Answers Oracle. And this was not the right way to go about it. Anyway, you can take a moment now. Just take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, grounding and just coming down, coming into this moment. And I just need you to pick a number between 1 and 6. And you can do that now. Okay, now that you've got your number, you need to remember that, because that's the number of the card whose message is just a little bit more relevant for whatever is going on for you in your life. And the question I've asked this week is, and I'm trusting that some of you out there will relate to this, and if you don't already know, I just ask for the question intuitively. I just ask Spirit, say, what is it we need to ask this week? What is it we really need to know about? So it's how can we best meet the challenges that we may face this week with grace and poise? Grace, the word grace has really been featuring for me last week and this week. Okay, and our anchor card, if you pick card number 1, we have the beautiful goddess Parvati, and she's about devotion. And that is card 41, so card 5, devotion. Now, Parvati is saying, and I did write it in my notes. What did I write? Stay dedicated to the spiritual path and be patient. Okay, Pavati is saying, and look, I'm going to temper this with what I've been talking about, the need for rest. Each and every day, I have a daily spiritual practice, and it is based on prayer and meditation and maintaining my conscious contact with God and the Goddess as I understand them. I come from, like, my spiritual path is a real eclectic mix of religion and paganism and spirituality as taught by the 12 steps of AA. So for Pavati, what she wants us to do is remain grounded and devoted to our spiritual practice, however that looks for us. And she's saying that it's very, very important because no matter how shaky things get out there, the one thing we can trust in is our connection to our higher power. This is what will see us through every challenge in life, not just what's going on at the moment. This is what will give us that grace and that poise, will give us that steady center because we remain grounded within our own understandings of spiritual truths and of our own experience of our conscious contact with our higher power. Your devotion will be rewarded, and you're rewarded with peace of mind and with serenity and with the ability to stay calm within the storm around you. And the more and more you practice that, so many people say to me, and this was not something I was like when I was a child or a teenager, so many people will come around me and I'll say, what do you do, Kylie? And, over the years, I've gained more confidence in saying, hi, I'm a psychic. But I also say I teach meditation, I teach psychic development. And the one thing they'll say, quite a lot of people have said to me is, oh, that really makes sense. You seem so calm. And I'm like, oh my God, if Rod and the kids could hear you say that, they would just laugh their heads off. I have such a hot, quick, fiery temper. Yet, I don't have it with everyone. And the thing that has been, allowed me to create this calm in my life because I also have quite severe anxiety and post-traumatic stress syndrome and all the rest of it. Look me up in the DSM. I'm ticking nearly all the boxes. The thing that has allowed me to create this calm and this order in my life and to allow me to make sense of my experiences of life has been my devotion to my spiritual practice. Now, a lot of people get scared off by the God and Goddess word, and that's why this Goddess Power Oracle is such a beautiful entry into this world. And it, can really resonate, especially if you're a woman, but it's not just for women, it's for everybody. But, just so that you can understand the diversity of, divine energies out there and that you can connect with them. If you break it all down, to me, it is the one thing, it's the one energy, it's the one source, but it's expressed in many different ways, and that's important because we all bring our own unique experiences to our spiritual practice and to our spiritual beliefs. We have all had a range of experiences, no matter where we are in life, no matter our age and everything. No matter if we've ever attended a formal religion or not, or been to an ashram or not, whatever, the books we've read or whatever. And the thing is, when you see this Goddess Power Oracle and, you start to understand and work with these goddesses, you can understand that there's no judgment in here. You're allowed to have your own experience with each of these goddesses, and there's such diversity. Diversity is really, really important. And, you need to look at what's right for you, and you need to do what's right for you. And you get so much choice. So I highly encourage you to go and check out this deck. And if you want to talk about spiritual matters, if you want to talk about goddesses, then I'm always open to sharing my own experiences. Okay, so this week, what is going to allow you to face any challenges with grace and poise is to remain devoted. Remain devoted to your own spiritual practice, to growing that, to staying centered within that. So you can be that calm center no matter what's going on. Your devotion will be rewarded too. That feeling of connection with divinity, that beautiful ease and flow in your life, sending out the light to wherever you go. There's beautiful synchronicities and signs and rewards and gifts and blessings. And when you remain devoted, it's rewarded. So I'd really love to hear how you go this week with that. Okay, the qualifying card for Pavati, which is card number 4, if you pick card number 4, is wait. All right, so if you have been manifesting something, or you're really putting it out there, you want to manifest something, you want to bring something out into the world. I have a few ideas for my business at the moment, and I'm feeling that pause message. I really feel like if I start something now, it's not to say that it's not really going to work out. It's just to say it's not the very best, most beneficial environment that I could launch these things into. Sometimes you've got deadlines, you've got a rush, and it's like, if I don't do this now, I never will. So then, you've got to listen to your own intuition about timing, about when to launch things and when not to. Yet wait is also saying, it's like if I look at it, for example, that you're just really at the beginning of your own spiritual journey. What it is when you invest the time, and that's what Pavati's message is saying, you invest the time and the energy and you devote yourself to a practice, and if you're patient, in divine timing you'll see the rewards. Patience, I kept getting the message patience with Pavati and with this card, and it's not so much it's a little bit about manifesting. Perhaps we just need to wait for divine timing. So then we need to release and let go of the things we're manifesting and say, in divine timing, according to thy will, all this will come about, and so it is. But the other thing is, I just got myself totally off track. We're saying, and there is another message here too, and I think I shared it last week. The week before was like, don't give up just before the miracle happens. Waiting is, sometimes we get frustrated and we get annoyed about things because we're not seeing results. And what Pavati is saying is, no, we need to demonstrate our devotion. And then in divine timing, we will see results. We will see the reward. We're establishing habits and practices, and that takes time. Yeah, that's where I said I kept hearing patience, patience. Sometimes, when we're at the very beginning of our spiritual practice, we're like, well, I've meditated for a month and I've prayed every day for twice a day and I've done this and done that. And this hasn't happened because we haven't really opened ourselves up to having a real experience, a real spiritual experience. We're still shut in a way. We're closed off because we have an expectation in our mind. I'm going to do this and this will be the result. Well, that's not how spirituality works. That's not about engaging in a partnership with a divine entity and energy. Developing a conscious relationship, having conscious contact with a power greater than yourself is all about setting aside your expectations, setting aside what you think you know, so that you can have an open mind and you can see the truth and you can have a new experience. And this is what we're asking for. And these things do take time. Sometimes we have to work through our ego, its attachments to things like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get that result, and comparing our journeys to other people's. Saying, well, they went off to the ashram and then they had, an enlightening experience, so I must have to go and do that. Not bagging ashrams. That person found themselves a guru. That person did that course. So that must be the key for me. Sometimes it's just a matter of sitting with yourself, sitting with these things, contemplating them, considering them, understanding it's in divine timing, and waiting for the unfolding. The only person who ever really gets in the way of your spiritual progress, evolution, and growth is you. That's great news. You don't have to wait for anyone else to change. You don't have to wait for the right product to be made, that right course to happen. You don't have to wait for the guru. It's you. It's all down to you. So please be patient with yourself. I really feel that message coming through. Just be patient with yourself at this time, and you will experience transformation and growth. And sometimes it's tiny baby steps, because even though we think we're ready for more, we really aren't. And we've got to be patient with the right pace. The pace that's right for us. As you said, get in touch. You want to talk about any of these things. I love talking about spiritual growth, evolution and growth. Love it. This is me. This is like my oxygen. This is what I'm kind of here for, and what I'm all about is about assisting and supporting you on your own journey of transformation and growth. If you pick card number 2, look at this. Could you have any energy come through that was more beautiful, more divine, more inspirational. And you know what? I've never pulled Mary in this deck. I've never pulled, and I always call her Mother Mary. Mother Mary is an energy that connects a lot with developing psychics, I've found. And she comes through with a very loving energy. Sometimes she will come through if you do have a background in Christian religion. And because often so much we're taught about God, God the Father, and Jesus, and Mary's kind of left out, depending on what religious upbringing you have and education. Okay, so Mary is about miracles. So we've remained devoted, as Pavati has said. We're, allowing the time that it takes for the unfolding to reap the rewards, and then bang, the miracles come. So when we are able to put those things into practice, Pavati's message into practice, we're able to wait and be patient and understand it's in divine timing, not our own. When we're able to release and let go, get our hands off stuff, which is so important, Mary comes through. And Mary's like, I got you, girl. You're right. Whatever you've been praying for, whatever you've been asking for, whatever guidance it is that you need, whatever doors need to open, whatever easing needs to happen for the flow, especially financial flow, it's such a time of trust and holding onto our faith and allowing our faith to grow and change us. So I really feel like this message could be pertinent for many people. And whenever you watch this, know that you are being watched over by Mother Mary. She is loving you through this current, whatever the current challenges are. She's also using you as that vessel to send her love through unto others. Mary's very much too, there's a connection to animals and to nature and to healing animals and nature. So when you get the inspiration to go do a good deed, like to find the, stray dog and go make sure he gets to his home, to pick up the hurt child, to repot the poor, dying plant, all that sort of thing, to nurture yourself and the wounds within that are still, sore within you and raw. This is Mary's message. This is happening now. And to just let her love flow in and through you and all around you. It's such a beautiful message. And look at this. If you pick card number 5, it's you're ready. You're ready for the miracles. You did the work. You remain devoted. You're faithful. And you're going to see the fulfillment of everything you've been trying to manifest lately. So isn't that a beautiful qualifier for Mary's message? Don't give up before the miracle happens. Just don't do it. Just hang in there and get support. It's so important to get support. Other people can be saying, you're crazy and I would have quit by now and that's just never going to happen, just let go. And so often it's those people that remain true and faithful and steadfast to their vision and for their dream to unfold. They're the ones the miracles do happen for. And remember to acknowledge the miracles as they happen. Be thankful for them. Thank Spirit for the gifts. And, like those rainbows, it took me a while to realize. I'm like, wow, holy God. There were 3 rainbows there and they were beautiful. And just, coming back on the boat after we'd seen the whales and everything, just the light on the water. Sometimes it's a miracle just to be alive. Just to be observant of the world around you and to be able to share in that with others. That's a miracle. So you are ready. You're ready for miracles. Yay! If you chose card number 3, it's Metis or Metis. I say Metis, and it's wisdom. And she's in alignment. She's upside down. You can't see her. Look at that amazing headdress she has on. Isn't she gorgeous with the new moon there as well? Okay, so when Metis is in alignment, other cards we call it protection when they're upside down, what she's saying is don't dim your light. You've received the miracles, you're on the path. Keep walking forward. Keep embracing your path. Keep embracing the miracles and the unfolding. And know that you're worth it. We really do. If there's a question about our own worthiness and our enoughness, we need to address that. Because what Metis is saying is don't dim your light. Share your wisdom with the world because we need it. And, it's about your vision, and about, your purpose and what you came here to express and experience. And it really is about how that connects you with other people down, sometimes it's a very solitary thing. And going back and talking about our spiritual practice and understandings and beliefs, it's very much an inner transformation. Yet it's always going to come out, even in your vibration, how that ripples out into the world. It's always going to come out and affect other people. So we need to be mindful of how that does. Now, I wrote something about Metis because, don't dim your light. Get clear on your message. That's what I had for Metis. What is the wisdom that you bring to the world? And dig deep, research and journal, uncover any blocks you may have to fully shining, to be, like 1,000-watt light globe. No, this world, we get battered and beaten down and around, and it's like this world wants you to be quiet. The world wants you to be what it wants you to be. And sometimes you really have to dig deep to stand up and express your truth when it's very unpopular. That's not an easy thing to do. I know from personal experience. And when I looked at this card and I reflected on it, I'm like, yes, I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do. I didn't always know what it was, but I always knew that I wanted to be accepted and heard for who I am. And I knew that people weren't very happy with the truth I'd come to express, and yet I never wanted to be silenced. And look at me here on this platform, and with all the other thousands and hundreds of thousands of people with their YouTube channel, they're getting to express themselves and their truth as they understand it. Woohoo for the freedom to do that. And if you're thinking about doing that too, if this is a sign for you to say yes, step into your truth and share it, and stop shutting yourself down and silencing yourself and stopping yourself from reaching your full potential because you're afraid. And because you're afraid you don't fit the mold, we're not like other people, we never will be, and that we're afraid that our truth may be unpopular. Unpopular truths are some of the things that shake the world up and make it better. So just be mindful of that. Okay, the card that qualifies that is get more information. So what it is, sometimes we're getting in our own way and we don't even know how we're doing it. And I really felt like this card was address the fears. Go right back to the root of those fears. Are they there in early childhood? Did somebody not like or criticize, or did you get punished for being yourself and expressing your truth? So do a bit of research and digging, and also if you don't have enough information on how to express your truth, what platform, how to niche your message, how to get the right messaging to meet the right people, if it's about launching a business, that sort of stuff. All this is saying is you're out right on the edge, you're right at the tip of it, you're probably already doing some good work, you just need a little bit more information. What is really getting in the way of you and your full, 1,000-watt shining? What's at the heart of this? Like, you've got to do some journaling, share with other people, the right sort of people, get some support. Maybe you're missing something in your support circle. But what this card is saying, like, don't let this missing information keep being a stumbling block. Get to the heart of it. Find out what you need to know, and then blaze on by. All right, I'm going to be so happy if you've taken something from this reading, or taken a few things from this reading that have really resonated with you. It's going to enrich your experience of life. It's going to give you that, next puzzle piece, that little bit more confidence to be able to do what it is that you're doing, to, grow in your courage and your bravery to be the amazing person that you are, and to share that more with the rest of the world, and however you want to do that. And even if you've just taken away a little bit more of peace of mind and some validation. Validation is so key. Sometimes we can feel so alone in our experiences, and we hear something from somebody else, and it just lands, it gets in there. We're like, yeah, I'm not the only one. Yes, that's what I've been thinking. That makes sense. I feel more confident in going about the rest of my life now and expressing that. So yeah, many, many blessings on your week. Many, many full moon blessings, Capricorn. Hope you ride this eclipse wave beautifully and you get some really good insights and learnings out of it. and some great experiences. Love to hear all about it. Remember, I do read all the comments and I do reply. See you next week. Thank you. And click the button.